we could finally see a sequel to Alpha Protocol.
Well, we're done talking, so you can go fuck off now.
I expected that reaction.
I know you've been waiting for it, and now it might finally be here. It was announced today that Obsidian Entertainment, the creators of the best games on the planet, will finally not have to worry so much about their finances and just create games. They were acquired along with In Exile by Microsoft Studios in their latest big push by Microsoft to just buy up all of these small independent studios like they did with Ninja Theory and Compulsion Games. In a statement today, Microsoft said Obsidian and In Exile will have support and freedom to fully realize their creative ambitions on both existing franchises and new RPG products. This might have happened just at the nick of time for Obsidian Entertainment. From some investor information, it was discovered that their flagship title this year, Pillars of Eternity 2, one of the most complete, iterative, and just unique RPG experiences I've had this year, only sold about 110,000 copies. When you think of a game that has so much value, that has strong DLCs, and that was the economic footprint that they left, it's incredibly disappointing. But fortunately, Microsoft is able to take this studio and hopefully, in Obsidian Entertainment's own words, they released a video today, give them the financial backing they need and also the resources they need to make the sort of games that they want to make. Usually when we decry a big corporate entity buying up smaller indie studios, it's because those indie studios might lose a sense of what made them so special. In Obsidian Entertainment's case, it's about these characters that you interact with and how they are fully realized. It's about interacting with the world and changing based on your choices. That may seem very commonplace for every game that is currently out today, but no game studio does it as good as Obsidian Entertainment. Fallout New Vegas, perhaps the most complete and incredible game ever created. Knights of the Old Republic 2, that wrestled with his ideas of what Kreia represents and the nature of the Force. What we got to see in the last year as well, even after the restructuring at Obsidian, Tyranny, an incredible little title that, again, wrestled with these ideas of morality and chaos. It wasn't just good and evil, it's about chaos and control. Now, it's unlikely we'll ever get to see another Tyranny game because of this restructuring, but it makes you think about what we'll see in the future. If you're concerned that this could have an adverse effect on the next Pillars, well, it might not have even been because of these atrocious sales figures. But we should also think about how Obsidian has changed in the last few years. They've streamlined, they've unfortunately gotten rid of a lot of really great talent because they've just couldn't afford it. They don't push their devs to the limits that cause such a crunch and a burnout that destroys their creative abilities. Will we see them create another AAA title? I earnestly believe that this could now give Obsidian the chance to not worry so much about what these games cost and focus on creating those big games that we loved in the past. I don't think they'll ever make a major open world game because those aren't the type of resources and games that they've made previously, but I do think that with the statements we've heard from Microsoft, In Exile is going to focus more on the isometric CRPGs, and Obsidian is going to beef up a little bit and create a game that will be Game of the Year. I'm calling it right now. The next thing that Obsidian Entertainment makes will be Game of the Year. Can you imagine if at E3 next year it was announced that we're going to have a Fallout remake, if it was announced that we're going to have a Knights of the Old Republic 2 remake, a game that was never fully finished? We've seen where BioWare is in terms of their RPG stratagem. They're creating games that are no longer RPGs. Every major title wants to be an RPG. Now we have the grandfathers who use the tabletop systems that created these games we love, finally not having to worry about keeping the lights on. Fundamentally, I want to know from you, because I don't normally do this, but I'm just so excited about the prospects here and what it means for me, because these stories that Obsidian creates that are so interactive, really take advantage of why we play video games. It's not just about a 5-hour movie, a 20-hour movie. It's about feeling like the characters around us are a part of our world because of the choices we've made. We play a character and those characters play one back. So I want to ask you, what would be the be-all and end-all, the most incredible thing that could happen out of this? Would it be a final completion of Knights of the Old Republic 2? Is it just Fallout New Vegas Gold Edition that everyone can now have on their Xbox One X's? What would be the title that would bring this studio from 10, 15 years ago into the current time? Do you really see any possible negatives from this? Because I am just tremendously excited. Also, hashtag Alpha Protocol 2.